All right, so today we're going to pull back the curtain on something called Sage Journals. You know, if you've ever found yourself wondering where the latest big breakthroughs in science or the humanities actually get published, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's dive in. But let's start with a really big question. Where do the ideas that truly shape our world, everything from new medical treatments to revolutionary social policies, where do they actually begin? I mean, how do they get started and, get out into the world?
Well, a huge part of the answer lies in platforms exactly like the one we're going to explore today. So let's start our tour. Think of this first part as the welcome desk in a massive, world-class library. So, what exactly is Sage Journals?
At its most basic level, Sage Journals is a huge online database. It's a central hub where you can get your hands on top-tier, peer-reviewed research. And peer-reviewed is a super important term here. It basically means that other experts in that exact same field have checked it out, they've vetted it, and they've given it their stamp of approval, so you know it's quality. This means it's not just some random collection of articles, right? It's a gateway to knowledge that has been seriously validated.
Okay, so imagine a library with millions of books, but no card catalog, no sections, no organization whatsoever. It'd be completely useless, right? So how in the world does Sage manage this insane amount of information? Well, that brings us to our next stop, the knowledge map. Let's see how we can navigate the stacks.
They do it with a really smart, clear structure. Basically, everything, every journal, every single article gets sorted into one of 4 big categories. This is how you go from like a million possibilities down to finding exactly what you need.
And what are those 4 huge pillars? Well, you've got health sciences, life and biomedical sciences, materials science and engineering, and of course, the social sciences and humanities. I mean, look at that list. Together, these pretty much cover every single field of human thought and study you could possibly imagine.
Okay, but this is where it gets really cool. It's not just about these big, broad categories, it's how they break down. So you jump into health sciences and boom, you've got nursing, pediatrics, public health, the whole shebang. Or maybe you're more interested in the social sciences. Well, you can dive in there and find deep research on criminology, education, politics, you name it. What this shows you is just how incredibly deep this collection goes. It doesn't matter if you're studying cell biology or the complexities of international politics. There's something here for you.
So you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds very academic. Is this just for professors and ivory towers? And the answer is a big, resounding no. Let's talk about who this is really for. Who gets this all-access pass? Well, obviously it starts with researchers. For these folks, Sage Journals it's like the bedrock. It's this universe of articles where they can find that one study that either proves their theory or, maybe even more importantly, challenges it and pushes their own research in a totally new direction. It's all about standing on the shoulders of giants, right?
And then, what happens? A lot of those researchers become authors and editors themselves. And for them, Sage becomes this incredibly respected platform where they can get their own findings out into the world. It makes sure their work is part of that global conversation so other people can then build on their work.
But who's the glue holding all this together? That's where librarians come in. They're really the curators of knowledge. They use Sage as this absolutely vital resource to build up an authoritative library for their whole school or institution, making sure everybody has access to top-notch, reliable info.
And that, of course, brings us to students. If you're a student, this is basically ground zero for your essays, your research papers, your big projects. This is where you graduate from a quick internet search to actually engaging with the real, primary sources. You find the hard evidence you need, and hey, maybe you even stumble upon the exact field that you're going to dedicate your life to. You can see how it's this complete cycle of knowledge, right? It all connects.
But hold on, because the Sage ecosystem is way bigger than just journal articles. Think of this next part like we're heading into the special collections room of that library we talked about. Where they keep the really powerful, extra cool stuff. And this, honestly, is where Sage really sets itself apart. So you've got Sage Data, which lets you work with the actual raw data from studies, not just read somebody else's summary of it. Then there's Sage Business Cases, where you can dig into real-world examples from major companies. Sage Research Methods. This one's amazing. It's like having a personal mentor walk you through how to design your own research project step by step. And of course, Sage Video, which brings all these concepts to life with things like tutorials and documentaries. It's so much more than just text on a page.
You see the theme here? When you put all of these tools together, they are literally supercharging research.
It's not just about finding information anymore. It's about giving you the methods, the data, and all the different formats you need to actually do something powerful with that information.
Okay, so that brings us to our final thought. We've taken a pretty comprehensive tour of this huge digital library, right? From the welcome desk all the way to the special collections. So, what's the one thing you should really walk away with?
It's actually pretty simple. Sage Journals is your go-to, trusted starting point whenever you need credible, authoritative information. Think of it as a launchpad for discovery. And it doesn't matter if you're a professor with decades of experience, a student just starting out, or really anyone in between who just wants to learn from the smartest people in the field.
So that leaves us with just one last question. And this one's for you. Now that you know this whole universe of knowledge is right at your fingertips, covering everything from criminology to cell biology, what are you going to discover first?